I forgot to tell you guys, I'm committing to the gimmick this month of Rutger Hauer. I have my hair dyed just like Rutger Hauer in the 80s. It's bleach blonde, thrown back, and then Dustin oddly looks just like Gene Simmons does in this movie. At the beginning of the movie, where he looks like, one could probably say, the most Middle Eastern Gene Simmons has ever looked in his entire life.
To be fair, he was born in Israel.
I know, but 99.9% of people do not know Gene Simmons as Abdul al-Rahim or Malak al-Rahim. Well, whatever the fuck is Malak al-Rahim. Most people are expecting him to come out the white and black face paint, the long tongue, not looking like fucking double from what's that movie called? Executive Decision.
Oh, right. Yeah.
He's right at home in that movie.
Didn't they have a white guy playing a terrorist in that movie?
Yeah, the dude who plays Poirot on like the PBS stuff. Forget what that is.
Yeah.
David something. Yeah, same difference. But so yeah, if you're wondering what in God's name we're talking about on this episode of the Kulturecast, I am still your host, Chris Stachiw, much to the chagrin of many of you. I am joined by my good friends all the way from a couple miles from my house, Dustin Rutledge, within walking distance, but not today when it was 100 degrees outside. And all the way from a very, 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 very different climb than the one that we're in now, your friend and mine. He's a cool dude. He brings that Troy Evans energy, the one and only Mr. Trevor Gumbel.
I thank you.
Your reputation precedes you. What was it like in Seattle today? Tell me what the weather was like today.
Actually, compared to the last week, it was actually tolerable.
You're on with Mad Cow in the morning. Tell us about the weather today. Bow, 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 bow. It was 100 degrees here. It was like walking into a fucking furnace today.
Yeah, we had pretty hot temperatures. It was like our longest streak of 90-degree weather in years.
Lovely.
And, I finally got an air conditioner put in my room instead of using the fan. And I got to tell you, it's made a hell of a difference.
Yeah, I believe it. You know what else is hot? So hot you can't touch it.
Rutger Harris?
No, also Mel Harris. But Rutger Hauer. Rutger Hauer, one might say the most unconventional of action stars. Rutger Hauer. So yeah, this month was programmed by one of our Patreon supporters. And so these are all Rutger Hauer movies. So Andy, this month's for you. We're talking all Rutger Hauer all month long, and we're kicking it off with Wanted Dead or Alive. No, not the Bon Jovi song.
He's a hard-working, dedicated, no holds barred,
sleazebag bounty hunter.
and business is booming. He's a bounty hunter with a system
There's a $15,000 bonus if he can still talk.
and a soul.
Mickey, that sounds terrible.
We need you. This is a flashpoint situation.
But the people he's after
I've been waiting to kill him for a long time.
are only half as dangerous as the ones who've hired him.
Randall really doesn't have much use for you, does he?
Would you do what we're doing to a pal?
You think I knew they were using you as bait?
What the hell is going on?
I just gotta disappear.
You're losing your bait.
You're better off with us than without us, Randall.
Don't bet on it.
Rutger Hauer, wanted, dead or alive.
So the film is directed by Gary Sherman. Yes, that Gary Sherman of Dead and Buried fame and Poltergeist 3. It stars, like we mentioned, Rutger Hauer and Gene Simmons. Rutger Hauer plays the descendant of Steve McQueen's character from a TV show from the 50s, because that's a thing that mattered in regards to anything that happens in this movie.
Yeah,
And
it's that Wanted Dead or Alive canon.
yeah,
It's So would it be considered an adaptation of the television show, or
It's considered a sequel, a continuation, as it were. Gene Simmons, however, was not in the TV show. And yes, Gene Simmons, the lead singer of Kiss, plays Malak Al-Rahim, a very nasty man from the Middle East who likes to blow shit up. Yeah, you've got some other folks in here, Robert Guillaume in front of the camera, Mel Harris, like Trevor mentioned, and William Russ not playing a father in Boy Meets World. So with that all out of the way, Trevor, was this the first time you had ever seen Wanted Dead or Alive?
Indeed, it was. My Rutger Hauer filmography is experience, I guess, is slightly low.
For me, I have not seen a single Rutger Hauer. He is the lead of a film movie.
No, that wasn't him. And I don't know why I confused him for Dolph Lundgren. I was gonna say
blonde hair.
I was gonna say I Come in Peace, but that wasn't Rutger Hauer.
What about you, Dustin? Have you seen any Rutger Hauer movies before where he's the lead?
One. I've seen one, and it was Hobo with a Shotgun.
Oh, yeah. I guess that counts. Yeah, that would be, I guess that.
I think I've seen Lady Hawk.
Have you seen Hobo with the Shotgun, Trevor?
I have not.
It's pretty good. Hobo with a Shotgun.
That was a fun movie.
Hobo with a Shotgun has some pretty gnarly kills in it. Yeah.
That was
Jason Eisenberg.
Right.
So, Trevor, what did you think of Wanted Dead or Alive?
All running through my mind as I was watching the film was like, good luck getting this made today. It's
yeah, I mean, that's most films with Middle Eastern antagonists anymore, at least painted this stereotypically.
I wanted to see more Gene Simmons. He's not really in it that much. Like, his dialogue is surprisingly little, but I was actually surprised how decent he was acting.
Yeah,
like, he can play a menacing. He plays a good menacing terror,
which is a weird thing to say for the lead singer of Kiss. I'm again like 10 out of 10 people are never going to consider Gene Simmons an actor, but yet here we are.
And this was back in the 80s when our view of Arab Americans were all, evil.
It's being informed by a lot of the 70s terrorist stuff in the Middle East with the hijackings of the planes during the Carter administration.
Yeah, and we had the Iran-Contra going on, selling weapons to them. I think it was made at probably, I wouldn't say the right time, but a very interesting time to considering the views of Arab Americans. I thought the movie had a lot of like cliches of the genre. Of the cop, he's not a cop, he's a bounty hunter, but the guy who works alone, who's like, doesn't apply to the rules. Like, the one scene that really caught my eye is like, there's always a scene in these movies where someone's holding up a Korean grocer or something like that, and the guy happens to walk in and just kicks their ass.
Oh, then they got that scene out of the gate.
Yeah,
like literally the first scene with Rutger Hauer in it.
Yeah, because we've seen it in Seagal films. We saw it in Cobra with Stallone.
Seen it in National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon 1. That's how they opened that movie, is with a convenience store robbery. So, Dustin, what about you? Was this your first time watching Wanted Dead or Alive?
It was my first time watching it. And, Rutger Hauer has a strut about him in any movie. He just has that Rutger Hauer-ness. And in this movie, I thought the movie, like, it took a while to get going. Like, I kept checking where I was at watching it. And I think they were setting up a lot of, like, relationship stuff with friends and his lady friend and that kind of stuff. But about 40 minutes in is when, like, real action started.
Which is kind of a problem for a movie that's only about 104 minutes long.
Yeah.
I think that's my... Look, I think Rutger Hauer is an interesting actor to have as your lead because it really, I think it really goes to show, and look, I'm only commenting on this as someone who is commenting on it in reverse, not as someone who grew up during the time. But it's clear to me that in the 80s, the action movies were so successful that they were grasping at everyone who was even in something halfway action and trying to turn them into the next action star.
Well, you can also say that about the early 90s, though.
Well, I mean, I think that's carryover. I think we're talking about the same thing. I think the prolific nature of action movies in the 80s really forced the industry to be like, we need to find these guys now who can be our leading men for these kind of, I wouldn't say formulaic action movies, but this movie doesn't do anything you've never seen before.
Yeah,
it
by
just,
the numbers.
Yeah, it you know what it reminded me a lot of, Trevor? The Showdown in Little Tokyo. It's that same thing where it's like that movie's a little bit more fun. I think this movie's a little too serious for its own good.
Oh, it's a lot serious.
It's real serious.
It takes itself like deathly serious, which I feel like kind of missed the point, because I think if it had been fun, it would have opened the movie up to some more kind of interesting things going on, like really getting to see Rutger Hauer's character. Because that's the thing. Rutger Hauer is a really charismatic actor. Like he's an unconventional action star, but because he is a character actor at heart, when they give him the opportunity to be the leading man, he's really goddamn charismatic. There's a reason why people remember him from Blade Runner more so than Harrison Ford in a lot of ways, because his performance is the best performance in that movie, at least for a lot of people. I mean, I'm not going to get into semantics on that, but when you put him in a movie where it takes an hour to get going and it's deathly serious, and you have Gene Simmons hamming it the fuck up, but like Trevor said, not in it nearly enough, I just kind of don't. I don't know. It gets bogged down in this bureaucratic bullshit that does not matter, at all.
Well, Rutger Hauer, he's a very good leading man in this. I believed him as a badass bounty hunter. But you're right, the movie takes a little long for him to get to do his thing. I mean, we see a little bit of it at the beginning, but then it kind of just it has this movie had a lot of confusing double cross. Who's watching who? They're watching him, but he's watching someone, and someone's watching them. It got way too fucking jumbled. With that Lipton character, the Lipton character, who either Guillaume was working for, or Robert Guillaume was working for. And then we have the guy, was he undercover or was he working with the terrorists?
Both? Yeah, I don't know. That was never clear.
Yeah, because, there's that scene where he goes into the store talking to the terrorist, and he pushes him outside, and they basically kick the shit out of him. And Gene Simmons shoots him 3 times, and the other guy finishes him off. And I'm wondering, was he working for them, or was he undercover? It confused me, because I think they said something about him being undercover. Like I said, this thing was way too confusing. It was too jumbled.
There's too much going on, and when there's too much going on in an hour and 40 action movie, and 40 minutes of the movie is spent setting up the movie. The problem is the action is really good when we get it. Rutger Hauer is really good. He has kind of a Chow Yun-Fat energy to him, where it's I believe him as an action star, but would not be my first, second, third, or fourth choice, maybe my fifth choice. But that is the thing about this movie, is it's unnecessarily complicated. And when you complicate an action movie, you're not serving unless it's a spy movie, which then again, you're kind of walking away from action in a lot of ways. Mm-hmm. I feel like it just complicates the narrative. Action movies are really firing on all cylinders when they are as streamlined and kind of to the point as possible. I mean, think about the really great ones of the 80s, like Die Hard and Rambo and Commando. It's a very simple premise, executed really well.
And I was going to agree with you guys that he carried himself well as the ex-FBI bounty hunter guy. I actually thought to myself while watching it, and because he kind of has a unique look to him, I'm this guy's seen some shit. I believe him. But I'd be curious if he did his own stunts. And by stunts, I just mean some of the physical things that his character was doing, like lifting himself up on a ladder, going down into the water from the boat, hanging under the truck. Because he actually, if he was doing that himself, he's got some power. I mean, he was pulling his whole body weight up pretty easily.
Yeah, I look at the IMDb trivia on this, and it was mostly about the guns in the film, not really much in way of info about behind the scenes stuff.
But I was pretty impressed by that.
The guy who was the consultant for this movie was apparently also the inspiration for the character that Rutger Hauer plays. And they let him use a lot of his guns from his office when they're in Rutger Hauer's office. Those are this actual real bounty hunter's gun.
Can we talk about Mel Harris and the complete unnecessary of her character?
Well, if you're going to talk about how unnecessary her character is, you got to talk about William Russ's character as well. Equally as unnecessary.
I think they kind of used him to kind of set up almost exposition the character of Rutger Hauer. about talking about his bounty hunter, talking about his paycheck, getting him the job hunting down the terrorists, which
forces him to go after the terrorists, essentially.
Well, because he has a connection to the guy, because he apparently killed 4 of his men in Vietnam. No, 3 of his men in Vietnam, but he got away. And now they both want to kill each other. And
which the movie does a pretty poor job of establishing.
They mentioned it a couple times, but other than that, it could just be
when they interact with each other, they don't really mention it. That's more of my point.
Was there really a reason to give them a connection to each other?
Well, that's my point. Like, the movie doesn't really do anything with it, so why mention it?
You already have a reason to go after the guy. He's a terrorist, and you're a bounty hunter, and he's the most wanted man in America.
And he's blowing up Los Angeles, the city you live in. Of course, the FBI is going to mobilize everybody to help. Like, yeah, that's again, like, it's like unnecessarily complicated. Like, William Russ's character just died for no fucking reason, just like Mel Harris.
Mel Harris is in 2 scenes, and then she's dead.
Yeah, it's when the boat that they're on, because William Russ is dressed up like Rutger Hauer, because Rutger Hauer's like, just come to the dock, dress up like me, and leave with the boat so I can kind of lose the tail. And then William Russ gets on the boat with Mel Harris, and he's like, hey, we need to get out of here. The fucking boat just explodes.
It kind of took me by surprise. I didn't expect it.
Me too.
And no one else saw the guy poking his head out of the water.
The shifty-eyed terrorist in the water, you mean? The shifty-eyed guy twirling his mustache.
I was thinking to myself, that's kind of hilarious that he goes like,
yeah,
sinks back down into the water.
It's like a fucking cartoon character. Like, I was laughing.
Excuse me. The guy over here? Anybody?
There's a guy in the water audibly laughing, guys, where there's like a crowd of 30 people on the dock. Yeah, it's fun.
This is the most incompetent FBI I've ever fucking seen.
And like, this isn't some CinemaSin shit. Like, this is just like, that shot is genuinely strange and hilarious. Because they shot it on like a back lot somewhere. They were like, all right, Rutger, do you have a pool? We need to get this pickup shot of this terrorist looking like he's in the water. Yeah. Twirling his mustache like a fucking Bond villain.
We forgot to establish that somebody blew it up.
And he's wearing a mask that's made to be used in like shallow pools or some shit. Yeah. And he takes the tube underwater. Well, like, motherfucker, that's not going to do you any good underwater. You'll just be sucking in the water.
It's very smart. Okay. Well, and like you mentioned, Robert Guillaume and the rest of the FBI are like the most incompetent assholes this side of the Miami Metro from fucking Dexter. Like, they're completely unable to do anything. The terrorist just keeps calling them, and they're like, what do we do? He's going to keep blowing stuff up.
How do we know it's you?
Yeah.
Oh, you'll know it's me.
Gene Simmons, the man with the greasiest fucking hands you've ever seen, pressing that scene where he just presses his hand. Phone. No, but then he presses his hand on the glass of the booth, because they're like, how do we know it's you? And he's like, oh, you'll know.
You'll know it's you.
And he presses his hand on the glass. It like leaves a handprint. It's like, dude.
That was a dirty hand.
Yeah, like fucking gross.
It's just an excuse for later in the film to say, oh, we have his handprint on the phone booth.
Yeah, but it's like, it's so funny, because is the phone booth dirty? Is his hand dirty? How is he leaving this giant? It's like a really well patterned handprint.
Guys, I need to mention another thing. First, he blows up a movie theater.
Why?
That's not the thing. That's not the thing. A theater showing Rambo: First Blood Part 2, and then we see a family come in with a little girl.
That's right.
Rambo,
that's right.
First Blood Part 2, and I think they had like a family with a little girl just so they want the audience to say, "Oh my God, he's killed a child."
Yeah.
And hate him even more.
Multiple children. There were multiple children in that movie theater. There had to be.
80s parents didn't give a fuck about R-rated movies, did they?
Clearly. And look where it got them. It got them and their children blown up.
It's like, do you need to manipulate us into thinking what he did was horrible? He blew up a fucking theater with people are in that theater. It doesn't matter if it's a child or whatever. People died. That's all you need.
They killed a child. They've crossed a line.
A little girl didn't get to see First Blood.
Part two. It's what's weird about this movie is it almost feels like times it's too like we're joking, but this movie's definitely serious. It feels like at times there are this like two movies going at it at once. Like there's this movie that's trying to be super serious and like, oh, what happens when you're betrayed by your handlers and a man out on his own? And then this like fucking goofball shit with Gene Simmons where he's just chewing the scenery because, yeah, when Gene Simmons is playing and it's like random Middle Eastern terrorist, yeah, he's going to be the kind of guy who shoots his own driver because fuck it. And then he just like throws their body to the side and like wipes the brain off with his bare hand.
Was that a weird edit or was it just me? Like when he shoots the woman driver and it's like off screen, bang, right next, and suddenly.
It's very strange. And then you just see her with like the like crappy looking like latex goop that they just threw behind her. Like, all right, yeah, they'll buy this is brain matter for 2 seconds. Just don't close up. Just light it very poorly.
Yeah, that's all you need. He kicks her.
And he just like throws her body off to the side. Like that's what I liked about this movie was when it really leaned on the things that I personally like about Commando and all these other Schwarzenegger and Van Damme and Stallone movies where they're like, yeah, this guy is really charismatic, so let him do his thing.
Yeah, definitely. There were sparks there of
it has the
fun.
parts.
There's parts of a more fun action film in here, but they complicate it too fucking much. It's like they were trying to be deeper than it needed to be because, you know, a lot of that shit doesn't matter. Just let him go after the bad guy and let that be the movie. You don't have to have the FBI trailing him for some fucking reason. And you don't need the Robert Guillaume character. You don't need the Mel Harris character. You don't need the William Russ character. Extraneous, you know. You don't really
need some credits.
Well, that's the thing. Like, do you need all those people in a movie where it's like one man on his own?
If you want to have the FBI in it, just have the FBI be like, you broke too many rules, FBI. Don't be like, oh, let's track him, FBI.
Which makes no sense. They never explain. They're all like, who's tailing him? Like, no one even knows. Like, I don't understand. Like, there is a moment where there's that scene where one character goes, was that us? Was that us? And it's like, you fucking morons don't know who this was. What? Yeah, this is like I swear, like the most inept group of asshole, like law enforcement. I don't know.
What do you expect when your captain is named after chicken soup?
Wow. You know what, though? I like Jerry Hardin a lot as an actor. He played Deep Throat in the X-Files. So I have a very soft spot for him, but he is not used well in this movie, period. No. More or less nobody but Rutger Hauer and Gene Simmons are. I mean, Robert Guillaume is given effectively nothing to do. But because it's the Rutger Hauer and to some extent Gene Simmons show.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably my the biggest overall takeaway from this movie, casting wise, is I wish there was more Gene Simmons, like, period.
You know what's interesting about Gene Simmons' character is knowing how Gene Simmons is, you know, on stage versus this movie is I noticed how he never cracked a smile. He always had a scowl on his face the entire time. The only time you got to see the Gene Simmons like big mouth is when a grenade gets stuffed in it. Like, that was impressive. That thing was the size of a baseball.
Hey, it's a good shot. That's a great visual of him with that grenade stuck in his mouth.
And he's the only one that could pull it off. That's why he got cast for that movie.
We need an actor whose mouth can unhinge and we could stick a grenade in it.
Can we talk about Gene Simmons' filmography? Like him as an actor?
This would be my only piece of information I have is this movie.
I've only seen this and Trick or Treat. That Trick or Treat starred Skippy from Family Ties. A dead rock star possesses him and starts like massacring people. And Gene Simmons plays this like Wolfman Jack type of radio DJ.
I mean, I would watch that. Sounds pretty good.
Well, I've also seen the Phantom of the Park. Kiss meets the Phantom of the Park.
Isn't that their like first movie, right?
Yeah, where they were told that it was going to be like Star Wars, you know.
I feel like a lot of people were told that. Stuart Raffle, maybe with Ice Pirates. This should be just like Star Wars.
Well, and there's also a movie he did called, I think John Stamos was in it.
Awesome.
Oh, are you talking? Are you talking about the one where he's like the villain?
Yeah, well, he's always the villain.
Is it never too young to die? Which is a movie that friend of the podcast Josh Stewart, I guess, really loves.
I got a friend who really loves it too, so I need to watch.
And I guess it has like Did it have a release on Kino or Shout Factory or something?
It's got a Blu-ray. It does have a Blu-ray.
Man, this movie has a Blu-ray. This movie has a Kino Lorber release, which is wild.
And before I forget, Gene Simmons was also in Runaway with Tom Selleck, where I believe he cross-dresses.
I think my favorite anything to do with Kiss outside of Detroit Rock City, which I think is a fairly decent movie.
I love that movie.
Is in Role Models, where they do the whole Kiss My Anthea thing.
Yeah.
With Sean William Scott and who the fuck is it? Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
It's funny you remember the least popular actor, but you don't remember the most popular actor.
Because Sean William Scott is really funny in that movie.
He is.
Yeah.
He is really
because
funny.
The pairing with the child actor that they pair him with is fucking hilarious. Because that child actor just takes the piss out of Sean William Scott's character. And I think just Sean William Scott as an actor altogether. And Kiss My Anthea is fucking hilarious. I don't care what anybody says.
And plus you can't tell me that the scene at the end where they're playing for his girlfriend isn't sweet.
I mean, I like that movie. It's one of those like weird random comedies that came out in the 10s that, I saw when I was in college. I don't know why, because it was probably something to do.
I saw it with my dad. I loved it.
Well, like 2011, maybe 2010, something like that.
It wasn't 2011 because that's when my dad passed away.
So it was like sometime between 08 and 10.
I think it was like 08.
I don't know if you guys know this, but piece of Kiss trivia you can take with you to your local trivia evening. Mm-hmm. What band sells caskets? Licensed.
Yes. Yeah. I knew this already.
Kiss. Yeah, but you know it. But Kiss, do you know what famous guitarist is buried in a Kiss casket?
That would be, what was his name? The one who got shot on stage.
Correct. But you need his, but for this trivia evening, we need the name. Sorry. Dustin's been here before. He knows he knows the rules.
Vinny something. Wasn't it Vinny?
Dimebag Darrell. For a bonus point, the band was
Anthrax.
Close. Pantera.
I'm bad at the hard rock.
I mean, you're close. You're batting in the same ballpark.
I think they donated the casket.
Probably. I know that he was a huge Kiss fan, but yeah, you can get a Kiss casket.
Which is surprising because Gene Simmons is one money hungry bastard.
Yeah.
There's nothing he won't slap the Kiss label on to sell product.
Hey, Kiss Pinball Machine is pretty cool though, so I'm not going to complain.
Condoms, the Kiss comic book, which they made with their own blood.
What?
Kiss was the Psycho Circus, right?
Yes, Kiss was Psycho Circus.
Okay. For whatever reason, not Insane Clown Posse Psycho Circus, Kiss Psycho Circus. Because I remember a line of Todd McFarlane toys, Kiss Psycho Circus toys.
I love Kiss.
I don't have a strong opinion about Kiss. Does that make sense?
I get it. Yeah.
Do you have a strong opinion, Dustin, about Kiss?
I mean, I listened to Kiss growing up. My dad was a Kiss fan, so I like Kiss.
Did you ever go to Salina, Kansas to see him at the military base?
No.
Oh, that's a thing that I know someone here actually did. Went and saw Kiss in Salina, Kansas. Like, what the fuck, dude? Okay. I don't know. Kiss is all right. Like, I think Kiss has some really good songs, but like anything else, I think the songs that we've all heard from Kiss, I've heard a million times, and I could probably stand never hearing again.
But you know what? What I like about them is they're kind of the fun, unpretentious rock music, It's, just about... They've never been like, let's tackle serious issues.
No, it's arena rock.
It's arena party, just have a good time kind of thing. They were never deep.
No, they were controversial. They were kind of Alice Cooper-y with the blood and shit.
They wanted to be comic book. They wanted to be like a comic book, and they were. And they were like they wanted to be like mythical superhero kind of
Jewish superheroes.
Which, they gave themselves the name like Star Child, the Demon. I forget what Ace Frehley was.
The Cat.
Bro,
how could you forget? Starman, the Demon, the Cat, and what's the other one? Star-Lord.
Who? There was Ace Frehley, Paul Stanley, Gene Simmons, and...
I don't know Kiss. It is one of the few bands where I feel like I do know all the members. I don't know how we're missing one.
Well, they've had different members, mostly different drummers throughout their career.
Yeah, I don't mind Kiss. It's weird to see Gene Simmons in a movie though. Like there's no two ways around it. Like I think it's weird because again, I mean, I don't know if any of one of us may have been alive, but I don't think any of us were old enough. There was like that big hullabaloo when they took their makeup off because people like didn't see them with their makeup, never did know what they looked like, and people were like, "Oh, that
was like 83, I think."
those bunch of fucking dudes, like just four random guys. And so like seeing Gene Simmons in a movie is like, for me, it's that equivalent where it's like, he's just a guy.
Yeah, but he's not distractingly bad.
No,
when you think about musicians acting,
I don't have a high opinion. No.
There you go. But Gene Simmons comparatively is better than most.
Actually, you know what? I take that back. Musicians as actors would be an interesting month to do, because I feel like we might be blanket statementing where we shouldn't be, because I feel like singers are better actors than athletes are.
Well, there are definitely exceptions to the rule.
I think there's exceptions to both rules, but I think overall, I think musicians are better actors than athletes.
But I will caveat this. I think really depends on the script they're given.
That's fair.
Yeah.
If you give them a bad script, nothing's going to save a performance,
I mean, if you give Lady Gaga a good script, you may get a garbage performance, though.
Okay, I'm going to ignore that because
I'm not a fan of her as an actress.
Okay, that's fair.
She's a good musician, but I think as an actress, she's going the Jared Leto. She is, and like that's like, for me, it's like once you start going there, it's like you're really
a downward spiral.
I think so. I don't know. I mean, look, when actors are now saying about character acting, it's a really like it's destructive and it's not healthy and it's toxic. When the industry is turning around on it, I think it's okay for people like ourselves to say, yeah, I'm not a fan of people who do that.
Well, I mean,
because like for the longest time, people were like, Daniel Day-Lewis is amazing because he stayed in a wheelchair for My Left Foot for a year. Like, he's a good actor regardless of how he did it, but like he didn't have to do some of that stuff because it's just like unnecessary.
Method acting to me at times comes off really fucking pretentious.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's unnecessary. You don't have to live in Lincoln's cabin or some shit like that to get into a performance as Abraham Lincoln. Okay? You don't have to send your castmates used condoms, dead rats, or what the fuck ever in the mail to let them think you're crazy.
Yeah, but Jared Leto's a pretend. He's not really a method act. He's a fucking pretender. Okay, like Daniel Day-Lewis, 100%. I agree. Jared Leto he's just pretending.
Yeah,
I'm not even sure how many people are doing are doing method acting anymore anyway.
I hope none, because I mean you can do great without it.
I mean, Lady Gaga and Jared Leto definitely are.
There's the one thing about like remember the whole thing about Jim Carrey when he was filming Man on the Moon?
Yeah, the Andy Kaufman thing.
He would not stop being Andy Kaufman.
Oh yeah.
And he claimed he was like possessed or some shit like that. And I watched the documentary about it, and I liked the documentary because I found it interesting watching people's reaction to him acting like this. I mean, don't get me wrong, he gave a great performance in that film. It's a terrific performance. Problem is, I don't know if he had to go that far.
But to what end, right?
Well, he didn't get the Oscar. He got the Golden Globe, fair enough. But he,
I mean, I like Jim Carrey. I'm with you. I think it's like anything else. You can either approach a project and look at it as a fun opportunity or take it very seriously. And you might get to the same conclusion, outcome, quality acting either way. But method acting for people that want to do it, like,
don't piss your co-stars off. That's all I'm saying.
Do you think there's any method acting going on in Wanted Dead or Alive?
None.
Dustin, you sounded like a police officer. Do you know how fast you were going?
Gene Simmons plays a creep, but then again, he's always been a kind of a creep, kind of a creepish dude.
Gene Simmons is playing to type perfect. He's really good. Like, it's a real shame that he is just not in it enough. Because it should just be him and Rutger Hauer just going back and forth, or Alan Rickman, Bruce Willis, Die Hard style. Because like they could have some good pithy one-liners. Gene Simmons is very unfunny, very serious. Rutger Hauer could be kind of a prick because you kind of see he's kind of a prick.
Because a lot of people were taking those types of terrorists back then very serious. I mean, you had the Pan Am flight that was a couple years later, I think. The bombing of the was it Pan Am?
We're like a decade removed from True Lies coming out.
Yeah, I mean, True Lies definitely treated it with a lot more
bombast. It's like what I'm
no pun intended. Bombast.
Yeah, that is what I am kind of saying work better in this movie is that tone, because like you see it at times in this movie. This movie I think is just really a tonal mess. And I think it goes to the script. I think it goes right back to the script because, again, they're trying to have this serious movie, but at the same time, like, not serious at all.
Well, and it kind of starts off kind of strange. I mean, they're kind of setting up Nick Randall as this badass guy. You know, he goes into a bar following this guy, orders a whiskey, takes out his chewing gum, and proceeds to drink the whiskey, which would be disgusting. But then he takes a full glass of whiskey out into his car and drinks it behind the wheel.
The guy he ends up, capturing is like one of the most racist motherfuck pieces of shit I've ever seen in a film. He's like grabbing the Asian grocer, calling him I don't know if I should say the word because it's pretty fucking offensive. It's the same word Christopher Walken used in Pulp Fiction to describe.
Yeah.
He's like he's like threatening to like rape his wife and shit like that. And it's a good way to set up Rutger Hauer's character, kind of a save the cat moment, if you will.
Oh, and when he pulls the gun out from under the car seat, that was sweet.
He does really badass things, like locking the guy in the trunk was pretty fucking cool. And the scene where he's trying to get the information out of the one terrorist who's locked in a locker and
starts blowing holes in it.
Well, he sticks the gun in and shoots it so that it makes so it's super loud.
Well, first he hits it with the gun, then shoots a hole. Hits it with the gun, then shoots a hole.
Yeah.
And a lot of the terrorists in the film do the same thing. I don't know. Okay, I'll give you the address.
Yeah.
It's a barrel factory where they make barrels.
They don't exactly they're not exactly a lockbox of information. No, there's that one terrorist. The terrorist in the locker survives. The FBI is interviewing him when they get to the place. And the FBI gets this information from another source. I forgot. It was like a bunch of numbers and a name and a word. As soon as the terrorist hears it, he takes a gun and shoots and kills himself. Right. Can we talk about the way Gene Simmons went out?
Oh, the end.
The best part of the movie, you mean?
Because the thing is, if he catches Gene Simmons' character within a week, he gets $500,000. So at the end of the film, he brings Gene Simmons out from the warehouse, goes to Lieutenant Lipton and says, make $250,000 out to the widow of William Russ's character. And he says, I'll pick up my bonus tomorrow. And he starts walking away, turns to Gene Simmons and goes, you know what? Fuck the bonus. Pulls the pin out of the grenade, and Gene Simmons is like, everybody clears out, and Gene Simmons is like, and he explodes.
Just kind of bouncing around.
Yeah, and you only see the lower half fall. And like, if you'd have kept that kind of tone for the film, and I'm thinking, why didn't any of the FBI take the grenade out of his mouth
the whole time?
They all left it in it. They were like, he's fine.
They don't care, man. He's a bad dude. That's why.
They're probably wondering how they got that grenade in his mouth.
I mean, I think my other thing with the movie is that the climax, like this final fight, there really isn't one.
Yeah, it's kind of.
They just kind of shoot at each other until Rutger Hauer finally gets the drop on him, and that's it. Really, there's really no meeting of the mind.
No, there's no like back and forth moment. It's very weird. They're separated the entire movie, and then the moment they get near one another, it's game over. They have one interaction.
The movie sets up this long history between them. You figure they've got some words off screen. You figure they have some words to say to each other about
nothing.
There really was no point to them having connection. It's just
because apparently Hauer killed a bunch of his friends, right?
Yeah, like 3 of his friends, but the other guy got away. But Gene Simmons got away,
and he didn't even mention it.
No, he never does. He does mention that he knows him because he's sitting at his headquarters. He's going through pictures, and there's this like almost headshot of Nick, and he goes like, "I know him," and like, I kill him or some shit like that, but. Yeah, but other than that, there's really no semblance of a connection between them.
Yeah.
They're never given an opportunity to be on screen together.
I would have liked Gene Simmons to like have a phone call with Nick, taunting him over the phone. That would have been kind of interesting because Gene Simmons can play very menacing. And I think, I know it's a cliche, but taunt the guy.
Yeah.
Don't just blow shit up and, have him chase you around. There's no like intrigue in that. There's no fun in that. I mean, the closest we get is like the scene where there's that chase scene where he's driving the big rig and Gene Simmons is in the car with the terrorist lady.
You mean the end of the movie?
Yeah, and he keeps like bumping the car like it's bumper cars and shit.
Yeah,
and,
it's like I can't believe that that's the end of the movie.
Well, he sets up like, and Gene Simmons has this whole thing of his followers, and they hide in these oil barrels,
which is like the most unsubtle of unsubtle fucking imagery you'll ever see. Bunch of dudes, terrorist looking dudes popping out of oil drums, like on the nose munch.
Yeah, but the problem, when I first saw, I'm like, oh, they're putting them in a bunch of drums, so it's gonna be like a sabotage. Nope, it's one per section of the compound. So like you see a bunch of barrels and only one guy, and then there's a bunch of barrels and just one guy. And I think they arrest one of them, and that's it. So
Hauer mows through the other one when it pops out of a barrel, just runs it over with a semi.
Yeah, these terrorists are pretty bad shots.
And the ambush, okay, cool strategy out of the cans. But yeah, like you said, spreading them out like that, and then, yeah, he's just left to get ran over by a truck or surrounded by explosive barrels.
It's just weird to me that they spend all of the time in the movie setting up the confrontation, and there is no confrontation. But like it's like 2 seconds. And I don't, it's not like Gene Simmons is not a physically intimidating guy. Gene Simmons is a big dude. Even without the giant platform heels that he wears, he's still a big dude. And yet they just don't, I don't know. It feels like for once, I'm going to say it feels like what they should have done is cut the intro back 20 minutes or give this movie 10 more minutes. Like really, like give like 10, 15 more minutes. This movie could have benefited from a little bit more of just something.
The script needed a lot of tightening up, and
it needed to be tonally consistent throughout, and it's not. Yeah. Again, I can't tell if I'm supposed to find Rutger Hauer's character to be charming and kind of dashing, but roguish, or troubled and angry. Like the movie doesn't take a stand, and then having his girlfriend and friend blown up halfway through it doesn't. I'm still like, what? How am I supposed to feel? And
you're still reeling from that.
Yeah, and at the end of the movie, when he's sitting on those rocks, kind of watching the water, again, I'm thinking to myself, like, am I supposed to feel sad, or like, is he like troubled, or like, what the fuck? Like I don't get it.
They try to make the harmonica part of his personality, and frankly, he sucks at it.
Yeah, he's pretty bad.
Actually, the music in this one was very distracting. It was. I didn't really care for the wannabe John Carpenter score.
I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it. I mean, he's worked with John Carpenter. Joe Renzetti has. He worked with Carpenter on that Carpenter Elvis movie, and he worked on the first Child's Play. So I didn't mind it. But again, like I think it's just weird because like I think this movie's just like, I don't know that this movie knows what it wants to be, and I really don't understand how they were like, yeah, this movie's connected to a TV show with Steve McQueen. That's a Western.
What's the point of that? There's no.
I don't know. Like that show is
mentioned once.
Yeah, like mentioned
briefly.
That show's a 1958 Steve McQueen Western TV show.
Yeah, and we're supposed to like know that he's like descended from, you know, the Steve McQueen character.
Like, what does it matter? Who cares?
What's the fucking point? There's none.
It makes me wonder if the target audience at the time would have heard the reference of Josh Randall that was mentioned in talking about stories of the Old West, if they were in the theater like, oh, shit.
Oh, yeah, I remember that from Wanted, Dead or Alive. Like, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Now, the only thing people are going to confuse the movie for is not the TV show, but the Bon Jovi song.
Yeah.
I enjoyed this movie for what it is, but I get the sinking feeling that some of the other movies this month that I'll be seeing are probably going to suit Rutger Hauer's acting better. Because again, I've seen Rutger Hauer in Blade Runner. I know how good he can be, and he's pretty good in this movie. But this movie does not get really close to what I know the caliber of his acting truly is, which is he's one of the greatest character actors of all time for a reason.
Rest in peace, by the way.
I love Rutger Hauer as an actor. He's in one of the best, again, sci-fi movies of all time. I don't know. He's got a good look to him.
There's an interesting build up between him and his buddy. Was it Dan or Dave?
Dave.
Who was an actual police officer. But like for the first like 25 minutes of the movie, it's like kind of them just buddying around. And he's like garaging a motorcycle for his buddy so his wife doesn't find out. And like I'm going into the movie, I'm like, these two, like they're gonna they're going to handle business. He's got his in at the police force. And then, it just kind of like disappears for a while. And then all of a sudden, boom, he's back and he's dead.
And again, there's an unspoken rule, these kind of movies. If you're the cop friend of the vigilante, you're dead. You're so dead. Fucking dead.
Yeah, I was going to say, any fucking Seagal movie will tell you that.
And if you have a wife and child, rest in peace. You're fucked.
Good luck.
Oh, I do want to hear what you guys thought about the scene towards the beginning. He gets back to his office, which is a gigantic warehouse with like security coded garage and elevators. But he gets back and he's kind of decompressing, taking his jacket off, picks up a basketball and starts like aggressively chucking it at the wall.
Yeah.
And one of the times it almost biffs him in the face. He almost ate the ball. And
then the last thing, I still can't tell. Did he like bounce it onto the next floor?
I don't know what happened. It almost looked like it took his head off.
Yeah, I don't see the ball coming down.
That was just a weird segment.
Well, first I was thinking, does he have a hoop in his house? That's not safe. I mean, he's probably got a lot of shit in there that's breakable. But no, he just plays it like handball. Like, you know how some guys take like one of those small
pickleball with a basketball, dude.
Yeah.
It's like the director gave Hauer like, okay, now take your jacket off and go play basketball. And like, he's Dutch and he's like, I don't know. He just starts throwing it at the wall.
Rutger ball, baby. I invented it. I take the ball and chuck it at the wall.
Not racquetball, Rutger ball.
Yeah.
Rutger ball.
Yeah, I mean,
that stuck out to me as kind of strange.
Maybe they were just trying to evoke atmosphere or character. Like, he's just tired and
he's very moody. He's very moody.
They did a lot in films with characters throwing the ball at the wall and catching it to signify, either relaxing or thinking or
deep in thought.
Just like Steve McQueen's character in The Great Escape. And Steve McQueen plays the character that the character in this movie is the descendant of. It's like poetry. It rhymes.
Or like Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible, what was it, Rogue Nation or Ghost Protocol, where he throws a rock at a wall like a ball does and catches it in the first part of the movie.
It's because Tom Cruise is a verifiably insane person.
I bet he did his own stunt in that scene too.
Yeah.
Probably.
He was like, well, you won't let me catch it in my mouth, so I have to catch it in my hand. Mr. Cruise, we are not going to insure your teeth for catching a rock in your mouth like a dog, sir.
Mel Gibson was considered to play Rutger Hauer's character.
In this film?
Yeah.
I don't know. This is how many years after Lethal Weapon?
This is before Lethal Weapon. Lethal Weapon was 87. I think you need kind of a more intimidating presence. And Mel Gibson plays a great action star like Lethal Weapon, wisecracking shit like that. Physically, I don't find him that intimidating.
Especially at that time, he was more just for his looks.
Yeah. March 6, 1987 is when Lethal Weapon.
So it's like within 6 months of this movie coming out.
Yeah.
I could have seen Mel Gibson in this movie. Again, I think that the issue with this movie is like, I don't think that this role is like anything so special, exciting, novel, or unique that I think anybody could have done this role. Like realistically, like there ain't much going on in this movie.
This is Stallone, Cobra. This is basically Cobra,
which I've never seen.
You should. It's a good movie. I like it.
If they remade this movie today, they'd probably cast The Rock. He's in everything anymore.
Just like in Walking Tall. Which I kind of like Walking Tall with The Rock.
I like The Rock in general. He's got a lot of charisma. He's very, entertaining to watch.
I think he verges on being one note though.
Yeah.
Like anymore.
Kind of
like
the same guy.
Early in his career, he was taking chances with some different roles. Not so much anymore. But like you don't make millions of billions of dollars making indie movies about prisoners who are being reformed through football, okay?
Well, and I think John Cena is kind of having the same problem. He's also a very funny actor to watch. He's got a terrific timing.
I would say we need a big muscle bound guy with good comic timing. You have like four people to choose from. Any one of them are valid. I don't think any one of those dudes gives a shit that they're typecast though.
Well, I mean, John Cena's still making the money.
So is The Rock. You know what I mean?
He's fully aware that he's seen as a nice guy, an approachable wrestler, and there's no intimidation. Like physically, he could be intimidating, but he's very approachable. He seems very approachable. Yeah. And early on, he tried to do action when he did
The Marine,
which
is not a bad movie, really.
Was Cena believable in that?
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty much just like Die Hard. Guy's wife gets captured. Robert Patrick is the bad guy.
And then one of his henchmen says, "Who is this guy? The Terminator?" Yeah.
Hardy har.
Then he did Bumblebee. That's another serious role. Yeah, but lately I see him in mostly like these off-the-wall comedies.
What about John Cena as Nick Randall in Wanted Dead or Alive 2 and Sylvester Makes 3?
I've watched that. I actually would watch that.
I'd watch it.
Who plays Sylvester, though?
Sylvester was Robert Guillaume's character, right?
No, I'm just saying like the movie would be called Wanted Dead or Alive 2 and Sylvester Makes 3. I want to make movies with 2 numbers in the title because that's really obnoxious and completely illogical to do.
Yeah, just put The Rock in the character. Fuck it.
As Sylvester, just like a random character from a different movie that just like shows
Make
up.
Kevin Hart be Guillaume's character.
Yeah.
Because you can't have The Rock without Kevin Hart anymore.
I'm telling you,
right.
baby.
It's in the
I'm
contract.
telling you, the fucking movie that needs to be made is a remake of Jingle All the Way with The Rock and Kevin Hart. But Kevin Hart plays the fucking dickhead character, and The Rock plays
Sinbad?
like The Rock plays the Sinbad character, and Kevin Hart plays like the family man.
Oh,
it would be much funny. It's much funnier than having The Rock play the Arnold character. To see The Rock play unfucking Hinged would be hilarious.
Well, did you see there's been news for years now that The Rock is doing a remake of Big Trouble in Little China?
I'm sorry, but that movie, there's no need to remake that movie.
There's no need to remake a lot of movies, but Hollywood doesn't stop.
Remake bad movies. Remake things that didn't work completely or barely worked. Remake a movie like this. Like, I mean, there's nothing to this movie, but like, make a movie like this where the lead villain is someone that is a non-actor act. It's not like Ghostbusters, right, Trevor?
You know what? I think it could work with 4 females.
Wow, bro.
I am a guy who actually will defend Ghostbusters 2016.
There's nothing there's nothing to defend. You don't have to defend a multi-million-dollar movie that Sony didn't know how to advertise.
Yeah.
It wasn't funny. It doesn't have anything to do with women or men. When you say this movie is 90% improv and I just left the cameras rolling and we got some really okay.
Move the story along. I don't want to see them ad-libbing like they're at the fucking Second City.
No. They're at a diner together talking about how weird ghosts are. And then that one guy is flipping them off for like 20 minutes.
I can't hate on Kate McKinnon. I liked her in the movie. She was my favorite part. Her and Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, but like, why remake good stuff? Like remake middle of
Do you think Roadhouse is a good movie?
With Patrick Swayze?
Yeah.
I've never seen it as an adult.
Do you know they're remaking it?
Sure.
Guess who's playing Patrick Swayze's character?
The Rock?
No. Think smaller.
Kevin Hart?
A little bigger than that.
Kevin Hart on stilts?
Jake Gyllenhaal.
I mean, well, who cares? Why not?
I mean, fucking...
Was Patrick Swayze an action star when they did Roadhouse? I don't think so.
That's interesting. I'm trying to picture it.
I like Jake Gyllenhaal. I think he's a good actor. I think he's got some intensity behind them eyes. Same with our friend Rutger. Rutger's got that good brow line, though.
He does have some intensity.
And he's got that fucking widow's peak with that blonde hair, man. I love Rutger Hauer's hair, man. He had that hair. His hair was not blonde when he was an old man. It was very white, but he still had that big ass, perfect head of Danish hair. Dutch, right? Netherlands? Dutch, right?
Yeah. I think that was his look. That was his thing.
Yeah, I love Rutger Hauer.
I'll play whatever part you want me in, but I'm going to have the hair.
And yeah, he was acting up until the year he passed away, because he passed away in 2019. I think for me, like the movie that like I really want to rewatch now is Hobo with a Shotgun. I have not seen it in probably a decade.
I haven't seen it ever.
It's really good. It's fun.
I remember loving it.
It's over the top. It is a very good example of how to do a modern day exploitation film, looking very slick.
I probably will watch it eventually. It was
no Robert Guillaume, though.
A fake trailer, wasn't it?
Oh,
yeah, it was a fake trailer in Grindhouse.
Yeah, so
to be fair, the movie I wish that they had made was Thanksgiving, not Hobo with a Shotgun.
Same director, though.
Thanksgiving had the Thanksgiving trailer is the Eli Roth trailer.
Yeah. So would you have him?
Yeah, I mean, I think Eli Roth is okay. Yeah, have you guys ever seen the Eli Roth Death Wish?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
And it wasn't
okay.
As bad as I thought it would be. There are some actually decent scenes in that. I mean, it seems like it was the last movie Bruce Willis gave a shit to do. I mean, he does have this disease, so that could be a part of it.
I think my issue with the movie is it didn't understand that the original movie kind of has its own problems with like guns and gun violence, but like the original source material is not pro vigilantism.
No.
And when they're playing Back in Black while Bruce Willis is cleaning and taking apart his Glock.
Didn't the author get pissed at the sequels? Because
speaking of tonally weird, that movie is tonally strange. I have yet to see Death Sentence, though, which is the other Death Wish movie that is also directed by well-known director, fucking James Wan, with Kevin Bacon. That is Death Sentence is the script written by the guy who originally wrote Death Wish.
Another thing about another film that was misinterpreted is First Blood. Well, not the sequels more than the first one was the Rambo movies.
You mean the movies that the kid in this film was going to see?
Yeah.
When they were blown up?
I'd say it was misinterpreted.
I mean, the original book by David Morrell, as the same as the movie, was basically about a Vietnam veteran trying to get home. He has severe PTSD, and the movie is basically about how shitty we treat the veterans coming home from that war. That was basically the premise. It wasn't about shooting, killing everybody in the film. He only kills, I think, one person.
Well, in the first one?
Yeah. Didn't he only kill like one guy?
Yeah,
and
but
then
the sequels,
the sequels were like, just let's fuck the premise of a Vietnam veteran going, let's just a suicidal Vietnam veteran. No, let's just have him kill all these motherfuckers.
This Vietnam vet can't get over Vietnam, so we're sending him back to kill people.
Actually, the author of the book liked a lot Rambo, the fourth one, where he's helping that missionary. You ever seen Rambo?
Talking about the one with Julie Benz?
Yeah.
Where he's in like Malaysia?
Yeah, Burma.
I remember when he blows that guy up with the machine gun on the back of the car.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he actually liked that movie. He hated Last Blood. The author hated Last Blood. I didn't like
I like that name of that movie, Last Blood.
Is it going to be Last Blood?
I hope. I wanted Rambo in space. Right.
People still want Machete in space.
Why not?
I don't know. I didn't see the second one yet.
I mean, the first one has Steven Seagal in it.
Just anything in space.
Would a Steven Seagal versus Rutger Hauer movie be good?
I would just watch it to see Rutger Hauer beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, I'd watch that.
That wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
We know that wouldn't happen, Trevor. Steven Seagal never lets anyone go over on him, brother.
He has far too much chi.
It's not like the offer from the big studios are rolling in for the guy.
I could take my hand and hit it on your neck and sever your spinal cord. Steven Seagal.
That video you showed us with those guys basically falling over him.
Yeah. And then I take my chi and I go, yeah.
And they're buying all this shit.
I mean, hey, if you believe it, if belief has power, dude.
I'd be more defending of Steven Seagal if he wasn't such a fucking prick.
It's fair.
Seriously,
it's fair.
Did we ever talk about how he treated Katherine Heigl on Under Siege 2?
Be creepy?
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't have to tell me that. I knew it.
No, I think he was pretty grabby towards her.
Oh, great.
And she was only like 16 when that movie was made.
Good.
Oh, man.
Thanks, Steve.
Because I was 15 when I saw it, and Katherine Heigl is not that much older than me.
Great, Steve. Yeah. So speaking of things that aren't terrible, Trevor, what are your final thoughts on Wanted Dead or Alive?
There's a terrific, fun action film in here. If you pick through the film, you're going to find something you'll enjoy, I think. It definitely needed a lot more work script-wise to make it tighter. It didn't need to be 107 minutes. It could have used a trim down and take out some characters that were really unnecessary and plot lines that really didn't make any sense or really get resolved. But yeah, I mean, I'd recommend giving it a watch.
What about you, Justin?
Yeah, I say the same thing. I liked watching it. I mean, kind of the same things we've been saying. There are definitely some moments, especially the first 35, 40 minutes. It's kind of like, okay, the movie's called Wanted Dead or Alive, and he's just broing around with his buddy and talking about his girlfriend. So when are we going to see some action? And then, once that part of the movie kind of starts, you kind of get a feel for what the movie's about, and it's a little more enjoyable to watch. And they had to set up the friendship and the relationship, yes, but I don't think they had to do it for half the movie.
Well, and then they just killed the guy anyways. It's like it fucking mattered. Like, well, your fucking friend's dead. Like, essentially off screen. So,
but in a month of Rutger Hauer movies, I think this is a good one to dip your toe in and get started.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Again, I think it's just problematic for its tone, and I think I don't think Rutger Hauer was given much to do, and Gene Simmons wasn't given enough to do. And in those two failings, the movie kind of falls short of. I guess the poster looks so fucking cool, and the fact that it's Gene Simmons. Like, yeah, the poster's awesome. And like Gene Simmons is the baddie. Like, it has all the trappings of something that should really be special. I mean, it got released on Kino, so Kino must have seen something in it that they kind of felt was important.
To be fair, Cool as Ice was released on Kino as well.
That's fair. That's also fair. But I enjoyed it for what it is. I think it just, I think to Trevor's point and to your point as well, Dustin, I think it just needed a little bit more of a pass by somebody's, deft hand. I mean, this movie is written by three people, as it is one of those people being the director. So, I don't know what would have helped, but I definitely think focusing some of the ideas, cutting out some of the unnecessary kind of complicated stuff would have streamlined the movie, maybe a little bit, maybe a lot. I think we would have been having a different conversation because we probably would have seen more Rutger Hauer and seen more Gene Simmons, the things that we don't get to see very much of because they spend a lot of time with other characters who end up not mattering at all. And that's the problem with a movie like this is, your lead is important, but your follow-up characters, your supporting characters, your villains, they matter just as much. And if those are not as good as your hero, it's not going to be a successful movie.
The terrorists were just very one-dimensional.
Yeah.
And you don't need to make all of law enforcement inept.
Yeah. Like, I can believe that he can go out on his own and solve this. I don't need you to try and convince me that they couldn't solve it on their own anyways. Like, that's unimportant to me. So yeah, we'll take a break and we'll play a preview for the next Kulturecast of Rutger Hauer month.
Designer drugs, boy. Wave of the future. You lost a lot of money downstairs, Mr. Devereaux, and you can't pay it back. You're just the kind of chemist I need.
I'm not gonna make that shit for you! I heard your ex-wife and son are living down in Miami, Mr. Devereaux. No! You son of a bitch!
Nick Parker. Your name is on the memorial.
Yes, I've been there.
Frank.
Step aside, blind man. Now.
I get the window seat. You don't need it. You're blind.
Get me there, little prick.
You down the war, huh?
Right.
Shoot!
What the hell is going on around here?
Nick, look at
If you like this stuff, maybe we can set up a regular pipeline.
Blind Fury.
Fuck off. I also do circumcision.
That's right. On the next Kulturecast, we're going to be talking about Blind Fury, a Zatoichi style film where Rutger Hauer plays a blind man from Vietnam with a samurai sword.
A much better poster, by the way.
Hell yeah.
I like that poster better.
Is that movie good? Have you guys seen it?
I have not, but
Have
all I
not.
remember is the poster with him swinging the sword and he's wearing the sunglasses and smiling.
It looks fucking cool. It's cool.
It looks like the energy this movie needed.
Right. And that's the thing. Like, it's a comedy. So I don't know. Like, maybe it will be everything. If it is everything I hope this movie was, I'll make sure to tell both of you so you can watch it and be like, oh, this is the movie I wish that you guys had asked me to watch as opposed to the other one. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah. And on that episode, I will be joined by Cullen and Richard. So yeah, until then, my good friend Trevor, where can people find you if they were looking for you?
You can find me on Twitter at Bad Vertigo. You can also find me on the On Seagal podcast with my lovely co-host here, Chris. And you can also find me, sometimes on this show if you're lucky and you pick the right episodes. And you can find me on certain episodes of Projection Booth.
A Mike White joint. And Dustin, you have nothing to plug, but I'll thank you for being here.
You bet. Yeah, Google me.
Google me, boy. You'll figure it out. You'll know all about me if you Google me. Yeah. Don't Google me. cstachiw.com is my link tree. You don't have to go very far, look very hard. cstachiw.com. That's the link tree. Go there. As for this show, Kulturecast.com, just rate and review on iTunes. If you want to kick money to the Patreon, cool. If not, just listen. That works too. And Trevor, Dustin, thank you both so much for joining me to talk about this movie, this Rutger Hauer movie.
You bet.
Thank you.
And we'll catch you on the next episode.